And we're live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. This is Frank Monday, your host for the Live Drive Jive archive, coming at you on the fives. I got a new what the? My wife, I don't get it, man. My wife always puts stuff in the car, like around the floorboards or on the seat, that are in a position that if you brake hard or turn hard or just even drive normal, will flop around. And it's some nerve-wracking shit, y'all. You know, when you share cars with folks. We had up to 3 or 4 cars in the yard over the summer, due to the fact that we were test driving and looking at cars, and so we were clogging up all the parking. I felt real proud about it, moving around cars and shit and driving cars, because I'm a car man. I grew up in a car. Gotta watch that speed first thing in the morning. Bunch of assholes and idiots out on the road this morning. You guys know the drill. Get out there and disperse them. Get the fuck on up. Oh my God, am I in the fucking bus lane? Holy shit. And it is after 7. I forgot. Man, I wonder if I got a ticket. It's a possibility. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I was wondering why that lane was so freer and open. I was like, what's up with this lane, man? Got all kinds of freedom and driving pleasure. Bummer. That'll cost you. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'm a car man. I grew up driving cars and playing with cars and borrowing cars, and so I love cars. I mean, they're great. I love to drive, and it's always fun to test drive a car and be interested in cars. So that's enough car talk. I have got my regular phone jack, camera jack, back in the car. So I'm hoping that it will, let's see if we can't. I'm hoping that it'll perform well, but I can already see that it's bouncing around a little bit. And I'm just wondering if it will be able to do anything for me. I need a better camera jack, man. I need or what do you guys call this? A phone mount? Camera jack? Fuck, who knows? Who cares, right? Anyway, as long as it'll do what it's supposed to. But it did look like it was bouncing around a little bit. With even the slightest little bump, I see the camera shaking. I mean, I guess there's nothing that can be done about that, really. Better camera with stabilization, maybe. Get uncapped here. So it's a Sunday, and I started back in the grind yesterday. So I did a live drive jive yesterday, went live at 5. And start doing them again day to day, broadcasting out to Happy Land. Vacation is officially over. School has started back. The kids are not back yet, but we were called in yesterday for meetings, and we're called in today for our Coovies test. So we got to get a little Coovies screening, which is just par for the course. Living in China and being, I'm called a foreign expert, I guess, is what they classify me as. So that's true. That is true. I am a language expert. At least in English, I'm a master. And in Chinese, I have rudimentary I have a pretty good understanding. I have a degree in Chinese, but you know that doesn't mean much. I watched my kids surpass, after 30 years of studying the Chinese language, basically on a daily basis, you know, a little bit of studies, and six official years at university studying the language. I mean, those weren't my only courses. It wasn't my main course of study until I moved to China back in 2000. But when you grow up in a system with it as your native language, you learn a lot more in just 5 or 10 years than you could even learn in 30 as an adult learner. However, I mean, I've worked with my kids. My daughter is in the 9th grade now, and my son's in the 7th. Poor guy. This is when the transformation of all your childhood fantasies start to fall apart in the reality of an AI-dominated mindset. But anyway, I've been able to, I know some things they don't know, you know, and I've been able to help them a little bit. And my writing is still even better than, you know, some native speakers. How do I define that? My calligraphy, the style, the presentation, my writing, my poetry is better than some, you know. I mean, anyway, I don't have to justify my Chinese to y'all good-looking people. You don't even speak that shit. Unless you do. I don't think I have much of a domestic audience, because honestly, it's not who I'm doing these for. The Live Drive Jive archive is meant for discerning individuals, people who like to be titillated with stimulating talk radio about the paranormal and the trans-dimensional reality that we exist within, that we are co-creators in. That's what the Live Drive Jive's for. Let's see if I can. Oh, this vehicle has decent tires on it. I check the tires each morning. I try to. You never know if you're gonna forget once. But I try to keep up on maintenance. I like cars. So the vehicle we are in today is it's more of a, you know, it's more of a go-kart than anything. But it seems to drive all right. I'm not even going to talk about it because, yeah, they don't deserve an honorable mention. It's a rental though, and I got it for a year as we wait for my ability to, as we wait for the raffle to see if I get, or not to see if, but when I get a driver's license, driver's plate, a license plate. Shoot holler, y'all. I've been in that raffle for 10 years. Let's see if they can't give me one this year. They say I'm on the short list. And I don't know, that ticket back there, if I got a ticket for driving straight through the camera in the wrong lane, if that's gonna be points against me. I'm surprised I'm even able to maintain my driver's license with the way my wife gets tickets. She's a savvy individual, but she's an aggressive driver, and she gets a lot of point strikes against her license each year for traffic violations, because there's so many. I mean, if you make even a deviation of any kind in this city, a camera will see you, because there are cameras, millions. There are more cameras than there are people, and there's 20 million people here, and there's 10 or 15 cameras for every person every 4 or 5 feet. You know, they got so many cameras and Wi-Fi stations, 5G, that you know the routine. I've walked you through it before. But anyway, the point being, the story here is that she's figured out various ways to transfer her point violations to my driver's license as well, so she can buffer up some extra points. You know, you go in and you can do that. You pay them a little money. So she knocks off, you know, you get 12 points on your license each year. And, you know, when she gets up to her limit, 10 points or something, 10 or 11 points, she'll shift 9 of them over to me. And she's been doing that every year for the last 10 years. So my record looks like hers. It looks like I got, you know, violations every year when I don't. I seldom slip out of line. But it doesn't matter. She, you know, she does most of the driving too. Well, no, I mean, I do more miles than her each year because I drive to and from work. But she does most of the round town driving, the shit driving, picking things up, double parking, driving unknown routes, navigating with maps, so on and so forth. Whereas I'm just to and from work, which accumulates more miles and more gas usage and more time on the road generally. But it's not, anyone who out there who drives knows it's not the same. All right, well, we are getting close to the end of our first transmission, so I will wrap this up by saying, don't forget to go by and pay Dark Journalist a visit there on the tubes. He has not been flushed. He's still out there flopping around in Happy Land. So pay him a visit and say hello. Tell him Frank Monday sent you. Next big YouTuber pick for the week is Apollo Asteria. I like her. She's doing her UFO presentation gig, and she's got a lot of personal style. And I think she's got a sincere heart, and that's important. Check out her latest video that she dropped, A Message to Hollywood. It's worth listening to, I think. It was eloquently stated and a good transmission. So there you have it. Tune in on the 5s for your FM radio live drive archive. I have been your host with the most, Frank Monday. As above, so below.